How long have you been with L4 Exceeds?
It's coming up on 6 years.
Oh, fantastic. And why did you decide to work for L4 Exceeds?
Um, well, I like the fact that we offer products to support the farmers in my region without having a one size fits all approach. We're not trying to offer one variety to everybody. So we have a really good assortment. And so I like that about Alphoric Seeds.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your background, Dawn.
So I've been in the ag industry for over 20 years. Before Alphoric Seeds, I was in the vegetable seed side of the ag business. And I have walked a lot of fields, whether it's for human consumption or animal consumption. And I love it. And I recently earned my Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness Management from Penn State.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about what is it, your territory or region that you cover for L4 Exceeds?
I manage California, Nevada, and part of Arizona.
Okay. Well, what's unique about the territory that you cover?
There's a lot of differences, but the number one common unique issue for all of my territory is water, lack of water. Most of my customers are trying to manage their farms, not knowing what they'll have in terms of water allocation from year to year. Sometimes there's no year and somehow they still need to grow crops. So that's the one common unique issue that maybe other parts of the country don't understand.
And what are some of the alfalfa pests and diseases specific to your territory that should be a concern for your alfalfa growers?
Blue aphid is starting to get more and more of an issue for my growers. It used to be but an issue in the desert down in Southern California, Arizona. I'm seeing it more in the Nevada area. And stem nematode is another issue that it's a bigger issue in California. So those are probably my two peskiest pests.
Okay. And you've been with the company for a fair amount of time, and you've been working with a lot of different growers and dealers throughout that time period. So what are some of the common questions that you get asked by alfalfa growers?
They always want to have the best yield, the best looking field, and the highest quality, right? So it's always, that's the first thing out of their mouth. But, we don't have an answer. We don't have, like I mentioned earlier, we don't have just one product to say, hey, this is going to be it. We want to spend time with our customers, figure out what their farming practices, where are they growing, what kind of challenges that they've had, things like that, to really help them find a product that works. But anyway, so the number one is what's going to grow, right?
Any other questions that you typically get asked?
Well, yeah, there's always a lot of questions. So after we talk about the initial conversation and learning about their fields and what they're doing. And, even if a customer has all his fields in the same area, each field is going to react differently. They also will want to know about what they can do to offer a quality product. So some of my customers have contracts with dairy, so they want to have high quality dairy hay. So they want to understand our products that are going to offer that. Things like that.
Okay. So what varieties of alfalfa fit this region the best, and why?
Well, because of my territory, my customers do use everything from a fall dormancy 3 to a fall dormancy 10. So, and every area is different. So for example, in Nevada, we usually use a 4 or a 6, depending on the elevation that the farm is on. And and salt is normally the issue. So the varieties that they're going to look at are, because they want to grow, right? So the first thing is they need to figure out how to grow a crop. And if they have salt issues, which they usually do, they're going to want one of our varieties that are in our high salt line. And that's usually like our AFX 457 or our Cisco 2, depending on, like I said, our fall dormancy. In the desert, we have some dairies, and we have some growers that are growing for dairies. And in the desert, that's usually a fall dormancy 9 or a 10. And they depend, sometimes the soils are really bad and they need something that's high salt, and our PGI 908S has performed really well. If they have any fields at all where they that's not the number one. The number one issue is getting that high quality. They're going to go for one of our Higest lines, which is the fall dormancy 9 or 10. That's the AFX 960 or 1060. The Central Valley of California is another territory, right? So I have a lot of dairies there, and they're looking for the high quality. So the Higest lineup works. And in our Higest lineup, we have everything from fall dormancy 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10. So the dairy quality, the dairies, or those who have contracts with dairies, are looking for those varieties. And they have really good pest packages. So where I mentioned like the stem nematode or the blue aphid, they fit right in there. Let's see, we have some, so like I said, I'm kind of all over the place because of my territory, right? So I cover fall dormancy 3 to fall dormancy 10. And so it's not a one size fits all. Like I have some customers up in Northern California near the Oregon border, that direction, and they graze and they want a fall dormancy 3 rugged that has performed really well years and years and years. And that's what's important to them. But they also have fields on the same ranch where they want our 360 or 460, which is our Higest. So my customers don't usually buy just one variety. They really figure out what they're doing with their fields, their pivots, and go from there.
Well, any advice that you can provide to the alfalfa growers to help them be successful in your territory?
I think the number one is really manage expectations, because you never want to tell anybody or let them think this product is going to change your life and this is what's going to happen. We really need to understand what they're working with, what can happen, but also what might not happen, right? So managing expectations and making sure that they go into understanding that and is probably the number one. Understanding that we need to look at their soil, their growing conditions, their farming practices, things like that when giving suggestions. Never promising something that you really can't promise.
Why should someone work with Dawn Playwitter?
Because I'm going to be honest with them, and you know, if I don't have the answer, I definitely have a really good team that I work with that I can get the answer. And I want anyone that I'm working with, I want them to be successful. You know, I've got farmers that I work with that their farms have been in their family for years, and I want to be a part of keeping that farm in that family. I've got customers that, you know, are, you name it. They could be one field family, they could be multiple field corporations. Either way, I want to keep people farming the land, and people know that when they talk to me.